Hello and welcome to the sixth episode of Chatterbox. I am Fate and I am here with,
Emily.
and we have some high quality presentations to show you guys today, but more importantly, to show each other because actually neither of us know what the other person is bringing to the table. We are in the dark, it is
Mhm.
completely random. Um, so our goal is to teach a random topic of our choosing, random keyword there. And I, for one, am quite excited here. So we
I'm so
have
excited.
we have your presentation first. So without further
Yeah.
ado, let's just go ahead and get right into this first one here, right?
Yes, I'm so ready.
Okay.
So, today I am going to be teaching about one of my favorite movies in the whole entire world, which is Coraline. And I'm going to be teaching about the theories and all of the Easter eggs, which is within Coraline.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you haven't seen the movie, in case you don't know, I'll explain the movie.
Yeah, good.
But it's like a claymation kind of movie, and literally every single detail in this movie has some sort of purpose to it. So I only took some of my favorites, just a couple
Mm.
of them. There's about 8 million theories and 8 million Easter eggs, but we only had time
I know.
for so
Yeah.
many.
Had to cut some info out. What do you do?
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie. Whenever I first saw Coraline on Netflix, I don't know how old I was when this movie came out, but I think it kind of scared me. I thought it was a horror movie. It looked very
That's what
like
everyone says.
it looked like a horror movie. It kind of looked like the art style of like Nightmare Before Christmas, but like an actual horror movie, and that's kind of the vibe I got from it.
Mhm.
But I always hear it be talked about very highly. But
Yes.
what do I
This
know?
movie
I
came
never
out in
watched it.
2009, in case you're curious. Came out in 2009.
Okay, because I was gonna say I remember being
But
very young when I saw it on Netflix the first time. Probably wasn't in 2009.
mhm,
Probably was like 2015 or 14 or something like that. But still,
mhm.
regardless. But go ahead and present for me. I'm very interested to see this Coraline plot.
Yes. So, in case, well, you're unfamiliar with
Hmm.
this movie, and
I
also for
am.
any viewers out there that are unfamiliar with this movie, it's pretty important to know the plot in
Mm.
order to understand these Easter eggs and
Mhm.
the theories I'm going to explain.
Mhm.
So, the basis of Coraline is we have a girl, Coraline Jones, who moves into this place called the Pink Palace Apartments with her family. And while she's there and her family's moving in and she's exploring and everything, she finds a secret door that leads to a
Mm.
new world, which is called the Other World. And it closely resembles her real world, but it's just in the Other World, everything is better. Yeah. Oh, Gabe.
Keep
Okay.
talking.
And then Coraline also ends up receiving a doll
Mm.
that looks exactly like her and it has little button eyes on it. And so eventually Coraline has this doll and she ends up going into this other world. And while she's there, she meets a character called the Other Mother. And the Other
Mm.
Mother basically tries to convince Coraline to stay in this other world rather than going home to the real world.
Mhm.
And Coraline has to work with some of her allies that she's made in this other world in order to escape the other mother. And there's like some games that come into play that she has to do, kind of like not like Saw, but a game that and like a game that she has to go through a trial in
Yes.
order to escape. It's so good. It's so good.
Okay. That's a very interesting
That's
plot.
the basic plot.
Wait, what was the apartment she lived at again?
Pink Palace Apartments.
Pink Palace Apartments. Hey,
Yes.
it ain't no You Place Apartments, but it sounds pretty cool. So, I mean,
Mhm.
what do you do
Mhm.
there? But Other Mother, I will say that's a sick name. Writers, pat on the back there. Other Mother, that's
Yeah.
kind of dope. Not gonna lie to
There's
you.
other mother and there's other
Ooh.
father as well. So I have our basic character list here of people that we're going to be going through, okay? So from left to right, I will
Okay.
break it down for you. So here in the green sweater, we have just the father. He's just the normal dad that, yeah.
Is the father? Is he the meme where he's like, where he's like on the keyboard
Yeah,
and he's like
he,
depressed typing?
yes,
Got you.
that is him.
Okay.
Well, cause he works for him and the mom work for like a gardening blog. So everything that they write has to do with gardening.
Wow, it's
Anyways,
hmm.
so we have the father, we have the other father, which is just he's in the other world, he's better, and he has button eyes. And we have other mother, similar to other father. She's in the other world and she's got button eyes. Then this is very important to know. So we have other mother, but then we have the beldam, okay, is what she's called.
Mm-hmm.
And people sometimes mix the two up because the other mother at one point in the movie like basically sheds her skin and becomes the beldam, but they are two separate entities.
Okay.
They're two separate people to think about.
Uh-huh.
Then we have the normal mom. Then
Uh-huh.
we have Coraline Jones,
Uh-huh.
our main character.
Yes.
Then the blue guy, we have Mr. Bobinski.
Mr.
And
Babinski.
then Mr. Bobinski, yeah,
Heck yeah.
Mr. Bobinski. And then on the end there we have YB.
YB?
Yes, YB or Yborn, if you will. That's his government name.
YB. NBA
Mhm.
YB. Okay, nice. I like Mr. Babinski's fit. That's hard, bro. I think the wife the tank top with the little
Yeah.
just stains all over it. It's yellow with the purple shorts.
Mhm.
I like it. I think I might take inspiration and wear that someday. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, totally. He owns a circus of jumping mice.
Mm.
And he's got a pretty sick circus outfit as well. I didn't include it in this, but he's got like
But
the
just know
red
it's
coat
there.
that's like long and
Huh.
everything. It's pretty cool.
Okay, so wait, this is kind of like some like Stranger Things upside down type thing, where it's like the two versions.
It's the original Upside Down before Stranger Things was
Okay.
doing the whole two world
Okay.
thing. Coraline was originating it.
Coraline was sitting here making it up. Okay, I got you. Okay,
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Coraline's the originator. So,
Oh my
some
God,
Easter eggs
Carvelli.
that some Easter eggs that we have throughout the movie. So this one is a nod to the creators.
Hmm.
So, in this movie, in the very beginning, like I had mentioned, Coraline and her family are moving in to the Pink Palace.
Yes.
And the movers of the Pink Palace are called the Rumpft brothers. So we have Jerome and we have Joe. In the actual movie, they're there for like 5 seconds. They're not like
Yeah.
actual
Characters.
big characters. They just make a cameo. And Joe and Jerome worked alongside the director, Henry, for a really long time. And they're animators specifically. And funny enough, they actually helped animate Nightmare Before Christmas and also James and the Giant Peach.
Okay,
So you
so
were saying
I
it's
was
giving me a vibe.
saying, yeah, I see
There was
now.
a reason.
It's there.
Alright.
Okay.
It is. And so they worked alongside Henry for a really long time, so this is just them in the beginning. They got a little cameo, so
That's
if
dope.
you didn't know that, pretty exciting. There's also another appearance that we have from the director. If you go to the next slide, Luke. The director of this, Henry Selick, he
Mhm.
made an appearance in the movie as well. So after the movers like move all of the boxes in for Coraline's family,
Right.
the dad goes to like, well, one of the movers like expects a tip and he like sticks his foot in the door, and Coraline's dad goes and pays him $1, and on the dollar bill is Henry's face. It's kind of hard to see, but that's Henry's
I see it.
face.
Yeah, I see it. I can
As a
see the
little
vibe.
Easter egg.
He's like a president. He's a little president.
Exactly.
Oh my God, he's blue.
So he is blue, and this is like one of my favorite little. This is kind of an Easter egg, also like a little bit of a theory. It goes into both,
Mm.
but Mr. Bobinski is the only character within the entire movie that is like a different skin tone than
Yeah.
normal. He's
Yeah.
blue. So a lot of people were wondering, well, why is Mr. Bobinski blue? And for reference, since you haven't seen this movie, Mr. Bobinski is Russian, and he also loves beets. Those are like his two huge personality
Okay,
things, and those will
that's
come into
a
play later.
crazy combo going on there. Not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, he also loves gymnastics and he has a circus. But why he's blue? So throughout the entire movie, Mr. Bobinski, he's typically sporting this lovely outfit that
Very
you
lovely.
pointed out earlier.
Uh-huh.
And on his little outfit, he has a little medal. And this medal actually coincides with the events of Chernobyl. And so he this is like the same type of award that was awarded to veterans who were like I guess deployed or working during Chernobyl. So
Okay.
he has that kind of medal.
Yeah.
And then also, it's hard to see on his specific medal, but his has three little blood droplets, which could correlate to how much radiation he experienced while he was like working.
Yeah.
And so people believe that this correlation between the medal that he has and why he is blue correlates to the radiation that he got. And then going back to like the stuff with beets, a lot of people during that time thought that beets would, help with radiation poisoning. They felt like if you ate enough beets, it would help.
Yeah,
I
of
guess.
course. Me too.
I don't know anything about that, but I believe that he's basically blue because he got radiation poisoning.
Poor guy. At least he got a medal though.
Yeah.
To be fair, I mean that's good.
It is. So then, this is a little Easter egg.
Ooh.
So when Coraline goes to the other world for the first time, she is like welcomed by the other mother and the other father, and they create this huge feast for her. And it's literally, whenever you watch like Ratatouille or something and the food looks so good
Yeah.
that you want to eat it, that's like the whole feast. Is they have a gravy train, and they have like a chandelier that dispenses a bunch of smoothies and stuff like that. But at the end of the feast, the other mother brings out this cake.
Yep.
And it says welcome home. And so the O on welcome only has one loop. And the O in home has two loops. And this is not a mistake. This is really important to note.
Okay.
Because in graphology.
Calligraphy?
When graphology?
Oh
like
wait,
writing.
I thought calligraphy was writing.
Calligraphy is, but graphology is the study of writing.
Oh, okay.
Calligraphy is
These English majors, guys. These English majors. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Graphology is the study of writing. And typically when a lowercase o specifically has two loops in it, that means that they're lying in what they're writing. So, how this correlates to the cake and later on in the movie is Coraline is like with the one loop in the O, they're telling the truth. So Coraline is welcome into this new world. However, the two loops in home, she's not actually home.
Not home.
So, yeah, because she's in the other world. And this kind of like goes back to, I sound like a really crazy like conspiracy theorist. When
No, but like low-key, this is kind of gas though. I like this.
But it correlates to like later in the movie because the other mother is obviously very deceptive because
Right.
she gets her skin and she becomes the beldam. So it kind of like, this is like a warning sign of the deception that's gonna come later, and it's a lot of people know about this one. If you're a Coraline fan, you're gonna know about this.
That's sick though. How do people even like realize this stuff? Like it's kind of wild. Oh, we have a song.
We do have a song, and this song is so good.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Someone in chat is saying, "Fate, you're so cool." Just so you know.
You know what? Hey, I appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This song might be heat.
Hello.
Song is heat.
Oh.
Want to hear my new song?
Yes, please.
My father can't play piano.
No need to.
Oh my goodness.
This piano is playing with me.
Oh.
This
Oh.
song is so good.
Making up a song about Coraline. She's a peach, she's a doll, she's a pal of mine. She's as cute
This is like my favorite part of the entire movie. I love it so much.
laid their eyes on Coraline. When she comes around exploring, Mom and I will never ever make it boring. Our
getting down to it. You love this.
I love it. I'm a big fan.
Sorry, but
He was getting into it too.
tell you the food's ready.
He was.
Mm.
Whoa.
Me, I'm starving. Wow.
So, not only is this song really, really catchy and it's
Mm.
really good,
hmm
but it's also a really important part to the movie. So, in the song, I'm gonna do this genius style, and I'm breaking down the lyrics.
Break down the lyrics here. Yeah.
Breaking down the lyrics genius style, okay?
Okay.
So, we have the line, "She's a peach," which refers to, kind of like, you could view it as like an offering, like food to the
Mm.
Beldam, because Beldam's whole point is she goes after kids because she like wants their souls, essentially.
Oh, okay.
She basically wants Coraline's soul, and
Nice.
being compared to Peach is like being compared to an offering. And we have in that same line, he goes, "She's a peach, she's a doll,"
Uh-huh.
and that goes back to the doll that she had been gifted that looks exactly like her. And throughout the movie, this doll moves around on its own. It doesn't like Coraline will put it someplace and then she'll wake up the next
Oh
day
my
and
goodness.
it's gone.
Like
Goes to
the
a-
elf on the shelf, bruh.
Yeah, she's got.
Okay.
She had the original. Actually, I don't know when the Elf on the Shelf was made.
No
She
clue.
had her own version of an Elf on the Shelf.
That's so
Um,
fire.
But right? But the Beldam was using this doll of Coraline essentially as a spy. So it was
Ooh.
able when Coraline would keep it around, it would basically be able to hear and know everything that Coraline was talking about. So this was him warning her about that. Then
Wait.
we also
So
have a
wait, is
scene that-
other father like on her side?
Yeah, for the
What
most
what
part,
a what a
because
G.
he does like this is his first like warning signs here.
Uh-huh.
And then later on in the movie, he does end up doing like a self-sacrifice moment in order for Coraline to escape. So he was on Coraline's side pretty much the entire time,
It's my goat.
but he wasn't able to like, express that because then
Right.
the other mother would know and
Right.
he would get got. Then
He
we
would.
also have a line, "She's as cute as a button." That goes back and that refers to the button eyes because in order for you to stay in this world forever, so the other mother was telling Coraline that she should stay in this world forever because it's perfect and it's great and it's amazing. And in order to do that, Coraline has to sew buttons into her eyes. So this was basically him warning Coraline of like, because later that night at dinner, she told Coraline like, "Here are your buttons, make your decision if you want to stay or not."
Mm-hmm.
And he was warning her about that. And then there's
Yeah,
also
deal
the
breaker.
last line basically. Yeah, is "Our eyes will be online."
Yeah.
It goes back to this doll and there being like constant surveillance on her because of this doll. So he was warning her through a really catchy song.
What a guy. Like honestly, what an absolute goat there. Also just talented.
Mhm.
What a talented fella. Also on the
Exactly.
point. Oh. Sorry, I opened the entire thing. Moving on here.
It's okay. So then we have these little candy dishes. And there were characters that I didn't mention earlier. There's a picture of them on
Mhm.
the next slide. But so they're called Miss Spink and Miss Forcible are their names.
Okay.
That's their names.
No, for
They're
sure.
these old ladies that live under the Pink Palace apartments, and they have like a little like theater room or whatever. Anyways, besides the point, they have these little candy dishes,
Okay.
and these candy dishes are like comedically stale, like rock hard.
Nice.
Okay? Like Coraline tried to like grab a piece of candy out of them, and it was like so tough it like flung to the ceiling. It could like stick there. This is some old stale candy that these ladies were offering, and
Average old lady candy,
what
honestly.
what people noticed was the years. So we have 1921, 1936, and 1960 are the candies that like align with the years. And so later on in the movie, Coraline has to go and play these games with the Beldam. And the whole purpose of the game is that she has to go and collect these little eyeballs, essentially, of ghost children. She has to go collect these eyeballs. And the ghosts that she encounters are these 3 kids.
Yeah.
And people pointed out that the outfits that they are wearing coincide with those years specifically. So
Ooh.
people believe that this theory that these candy dishes, basically, like, I'll touch on this later, Miss Miss Spink and Miss Forcible kind of knowing everything that's going on,
Uh huh.
but this is kind of like one piece of evidence that shows they knew what was happening,
They
and
knew all along.
they knew what was going on, and the candy dish was also a warning sign to Coraline.
Yeah,
And
she's really not. She's not catching anything, is she? She just all these warning signs. Homegirl,
No.
I ain't catching a hint.
Listen. There's so many, like, again, couldn't touch on all of them.
Yep.
But there are so many signs where it was like everything was just going over her head. And I guess if you're in that situation, you're just so excited because you have this other world and they're giving you like all the best food ever and everything is so perfect and they're singing you these lovely songs
Yeah.
that like you don't care to lock in and like think maybe this is a little bit weird.
Year.
Instead, she just lets everything go over her head.
Okay.
But there's this candy, and also it's like pointing out that it's like comically stale.
Mhm.
People think points to also like because it's so stale that means that like these kids like the Beldam fed on the souls of these kids so long ago that she is wanting someone new, and her next victim is Coraline. So this is
Okay.
like a sign that Coraline,
Got you.
your next girl.
Mhm. Quite the gap from 1960 to what? 2009, right? This movie was made. 09.
Yeah, this movie was made in 2009. Yeah.
49-year gap on there. Okay. Been really,
Exactly.
yeah, really going on these 3 for a while here, haven't they?
She was ready. She was ready. So, that's Miss Spink and Miss Forcible.
Mhm.
In case you were curious.
I was.
I believe the one with the pink hair is Miss Spink. I think so. And the one that's blonde is Miss Forcible.
Okay.
Anyways, that's really besides the point, and that doesn't matter at all. But I believe, and a lot of other people believe, that they knew everything that was going on and what was happening, and they were essentially trying to warn Coraline yet again.
Uh-huh.
And so we have the instance of the candy that's pointing out, like, these are all the years that the kids went missing. You're going to realize this later. These years are important. There's 3 candy dishes. There's 3 kids. Then
Right.
also, they end up offering Coraline a cup of tea while they're there. And they do, like, Coraline drinks the tea or whatever, and there's tea leaves in there. And they can, like, read tea leaves.
Yep.
And so in the tea leaves, there's, like, this little hand that shows up. Like that picture. And that hand is really important because that correlates with the Beldam. There's, like, multiple moments throughout the show where, like, there's one day where, like, it's raining and lightning strikes and it looks like the Beldam's hand, like, reoccurring themes of her hand
Yeah.
showing up.
Okay.
And so her hand shows up in the tea, and this points to danger. Like, Coraline is going to be experiencing
Ooh, so it's a little a little
Danger.
foreshadowing. Could come in pretty
some
handy.
foreshadowing going on. And so they try and let her know that this is going on. They're like, Coraline, you're in a terrible danger.
Terrible peril.
Yes.
Mhm.
And then they also end up giving her this little, like, I don't even know exactly what it's called. It resembles closely to, like, the thing you use on a Ouija board.
Oh, okay,
And
yeah.
They gifted her that. They gifted her that little green stone. And she ended up using it later on because that little stone helps Coraline see the good, or not the good, helps Coraline see the bad or the lost things.
Yeah.
And so when she had to play this game with the Beldam of having to find these ghost kids' eyeballs, she was able to, like, hold it up to her eye, and it would be like everything's black and white, but the eye would glow red. So it was really easy for her to find it. So they were helping her along the way
Got you. Okay.
in order to find these. But then
Yeah, everyone.
also,
Oh, who is this little guy?
I'll tell you in a second. But Miss Spink and Miss Forcible, they also, everyone, obviously her name is Coraline, but
Mhm.
they would only refer to her as Caroline, And so would Mr. Bobinski. Mr. Bobinski would also only refer to her as Caroline because for Miss Spink and Miss Forcible specifically, it's like if you say Coraline, then that's like the Beldam will know her name and she can like listen in. But it's like there's this idea that if you say Caroline, that's not her actual name, so then the Beldam won't listen in and spy on her.
That's
That's
smart.
the idea,
Good play there.
right? And they're the only ones that do that. They're pretty much the only ones that do that. So then we go into this theory that the Beldam had a son. So throughout the whole movie, no, you like pretty much never learn the history, like the backstory behind the Beldam, literally at all. You have no idea like why she was at the Pink Palace, like why she has a secret door there, or why she specifically is like going after little kids. You have no idea. You don't know at the beginning and you don't know at the end. So people have to make a theory of
Right.
what her purpose is. And people believe that at one point she had a son. So people believe that the Beldam once lived in the Pink Palace, where she had a son. However, while she was living at the Pink Palace, her son passed away. So people believe that that is what happened because when you're in the Pink Palace specifically, everything is meant to look like very drear and boring and bleak. And so the picture on the left where the ice cream is like gone basically, that is the painting that is in like the real world. But then when you get to the other world is where he's like licking the ice cream and he's really happy and excited.
Yeah.
So people correlate this painting to the idea that the Beldam once had a son and now he's gone. And so in the other world, she tries and captures other kids to basically try and have that similarity of like having a kid at one point is the purpose of it.
Okay. Okay.
Because there's no like clear motive
Yeah.
that she has. So people just try and make one essentially, and that's like the closest that people can get.
Right.
So our next theory that there is more than one portal. So throughout the movie, typically there is just the door. It's like you have to like carve out the wallpaper and it's this random door that's in the wall that leads to this other world. And that is the main portal. However, we believe that there is more than one portal. And one of the main reasons, the other portal, in the beginning of this movie, there is this well. And it has like this little mushroom circle around it. Get to that later. But YB specifically says about this well, when Coraline is looking at it, that if you fell to the bottom and looked up, you'd see stars in the middle of the day. And the only place where you can see stars in the middle of the day is the other world. Because in the other world, it's like literally always nighttime.
Right.
So there's like, that's kind of some evidence that this might be a portal to the other world. People also believe that there's another portal to the other world because whenever Coraline goes to the other world, she only goes through the door, like through the door in the wall. She never goes back out of it. So she'll go through the other door, she'll go to the other world, and she'll go to sleep, and then she'll wake up and she's miraculously in the real world.
Right.
So people believe there's obviously some sort of
trickery going on
magic
here.
situation
Something's
going on
happening.
Something's happening here. A little suspicious.
A little suspicious. A little fishy.
Yes. Then towards the end of the movie, so after Coraline collects all the little ghost kids' eyeballs and she completes the Beldam's game, she's left with the key that opens the main door that she goes through to get to the other world. And the little ghost kids tell her that she needs to get rid of this key or else the Beldam is going to come and get her. And so her solution to this is that she's going to take this key and she's going to throw it down the well. And there's like a little cat that works with her throughout most of this. It's a little black cat. He doesn't really have a name at all. He's just like the cat.
Yeah.
The only name that he has is called Vermin because
Bad name.
because that is like the Beldam, like when he's being referred to, she called him a vermin, and so people just say that's his name.
Okay.
That's not. He's just the cat. He's just.
He's just like a little kitty, bruh.
Yeah, he's just the kitty that helps Coraline. And he specifically told Coraline, do not do that. Do not put this key down the well.
Yeah.
Because this cat also knew about the Beldam's games, and he would like float between the world and the other world with Coraline and help her navigating like
Yeah.
the complexities of these new worlds. So he told Coraline, do not do this. Do not throw this key down there. And she did it anyways. She threw the key down there. So people think that her throwing this key down there is a really bad idea.
Yeah.
Basically, it doesn't close any doors. She might have thought that she closed the door, but she doesn't because she threw the key down there. So people already believe that that is another portal to the other world. So the Beldam would be able to get this key and then open the other door.
Mhm.
Plus, this little well, the door to the well, has a bunch of little mushrooms around it. And in case you don't know, a ring of mushrooms is usually referred to as a fairy ring. And so a fairy ring usually insinuates like access to the other world or
Ooh,
access
okay.
to a new world.
Yeah.
So that's why people think having this little mushroom ring around the well insinuates that it's another portal
Mhm.
into the other world.
Oh, we have the ending scene of the movie. Okay, hold on, wait.
We do.
Ooh, the Bellum won, bro. What?
Yeah. It's a theory. It's just a theory. It's just a game.
Oh, it's a theory. Okay, okay, okay. Those look delectable.
Yeah.
Thanks for helping me, Miss Spink. Miss Forcible.
Oh, look, April. Pink ladies.
Actually, it's just lemonade. How's Angus doing?
Oh, much better, dear. But he can't duck his wings forever.
Bro, that's me. Me at Casa.
Oh, excuse-moi, but that pizza was delicious.
Cold drinks?
Oh, yeah, great.
You were right, Coraline.
Yo, are they just in like a valley and a
Hate
mountain?
dirt. But
Yeah, they moved to
tulips look nice.
I believe it's Colorado.
Thanks.
Is where they moved.
That adds up. My goat.
How are the Mushkas, Mr. B?
They tell me that you are Savior, Caroline. And soon as they are ready, they wish to give special thanks you performance.
Wobbling. I know where I'm going. I grew up here.
Oh my god,
Welcome,
Granny.
Oh,
She owns the
Hello.
Pink Palace Apartments.
I'm Coraline Jones. I've got so much to tell you. Here.
Thanks.
Yo, sick rose garden, man.
dear.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Kitty!
This is really
That doesn't look very apartment-like. No! No! Chat that
Yes.
lost. Chat that lost. It's
Exactly. That-
Jover, bro. It's Jover.
Yeah, it's definitely Jover. So that ending scene basically messes with what you originally had thought had happened throughout the whole movie.
Mhm.
So before you get to the scene, you like Coraline escapes the door, she throws the key away, and you're like, she's done. She's free. She's never seeing the other mother or the other
Mhm,
father or the
mhm.
Beldam again. She's good. She's done. Clean. But then we have that moment where the cat goes.
Yep.
Goes
And he disappears.
magic.
Magic.
Magic. And the only place that can use magic like that is the other world. And there's also some like other instances that people think relate to this idea that the Beldam won is so
Mhm.
the garden that you saw relates very closely to the garden that is in the other world.
Mhm.
So if the Beldam is able to use magic, you know, she would easily be able to conjure up a garden that looks exactly like the one that she had.
Yeah.
Then, along with that, the parents in that scene were extremely nice to Coraline. And throughout the beginning of the movie and like most of the movie, the parents are, for the most part, very neglectful of
Yeah.
Coraline. They don't care what she has to say. They don't care about what she wants to do. Like, basically, all they want to do is work, and they just want her out of their sight. So, for them to do a complete 180 in this final scene is very suspicious. Just be like, we're all good.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. So it's very weird, very suspicious. But the main idea of the Beldam winning comes from the cat disappearing.
I don't trust him, guys. I don't trust him. Oh, the end!
The end. Those were
The
all
end.
the theories, little Easter eggs that I had to share about Coraline. I recommend that you go and watch the movie and you look out for
I might
it.
have to go watch it now. I might have to
It's
go watch
so
it.
good. There's so many more references. Like, there's a reference to The Shining in
Ooh.
the movie. There's, like, the sweaters that Coraline wears have, like, a huge, meaning of if she's in the real world, if she's not in the real world. Like, it's... The theories in this movie run deep.
Little mind trickery going on all the time. Well,
It is. Every
jeez.
single thing has a point to it. It's amazing.
Well, I will say you have piqued my interest. I'm probably gonna go watch Coraline, even if it has been, I guess, technically spoiled. But like, it's came out in 2009. Who cares? You know what I mean? But moving on. Well, I will say wonderful presentation, by the way. Absolutely stellar presentation there. But moving on to the next one we have here, my personal presentation. We have history's worst Olympics, I guess you could say. But more importantly, the 1904. Sorry that face cams are in the way a little bit here, chat. 1904 St. Louis Olympic disaster. Get the mic out of your mouth, dude. How about that? You like that better? All right. Look, how about this? Is this good? Like better, chat? So the 1904 Olympic Marathon take place in St. Louis, Missouri, USA. What a lovely joint. What a lovely place, St. Louis, Missouri, right? But there were some issues, everybody. There were some issues when you're running a marathon. It was 90 degrees out. It was dusty. They ran on like a dirt road because it's 1904.
That sucks.
And they had like barely any water as well. Like they had like nothing going for them. There was just a whole bunch of L's being passed around. So here are some marathon conditions. I want you guys to take this into your account. I don't think I can run a marathon to begin with, let alone when it's poorly organized and dangerous. Only one water station in 24.85 miles, chat.
That's crazy.
No, you're not getting any water. Runners face dust clouds from cars on dirt roads. Because a lot of times when you're running a marathon, you kind of close the road down. You know, you're like, this is a lot of runners are going here. Let's not have cars on the road. In 1904. Who cares, right? So you are over here running, and you hear beep, 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 beep. Here's a car behind you trying to get past, and you're like running a marathon with no water, and it's 90 degrees out. So now you're gonna get off the road, and then they're gonna drive by you on a dirt road. They're kicking dust and dirt all in your lungs. You have no water. May I reiterate? It's just a lot going wrong here. As a cause of this, many suffer from dehydration and exhaustion because, dude, me too, man. That'd suck. But these amazing people here, okay? These athletes, I'll tell you what, absolute champs of the people, okay? So, meet the athletes. Our first absolute goober is Fred Lors. This man, right? Look at that guy, right? This is your athlete, okay? He's a little bit of a scandal because Fred Lors was disqualified from the 1904 Olympic Marathon after riding in a car for like half the race almost. And then he proceeded to get out of the car, hop back in, and just kind of like jog the rest of the way. Then he got there, and they were like, "Let's go, Fred Lors, my guy, my goat. Here's the gold medal." And then some dude in the crowd was like, I think I saw this guy in a red pickup truck, like, a little down the ways. I swear he was, like, in the passenger or the back of a pickup truck a little bit ago. And then he was like, I'm just joking. Guys, it's a prank. Like, it's 2016 all over again. I was pranking you guys. And,
True.
Guys, it's not real. And he's like, just take the gold medal away. I'm just kidding. they didn't like that. I'll tell you what. These guys were like, no. So they banned him for life initially, at least. The officials weren't very happy with that. But the next year, he actually would go on to win the Boston Marathon with no car this time. Okay, his official time was 2 hours and 38 minutes, which is pretty solid for 1904. And honestly,
good.
even if you ran a 2-hour 38-minute marathon today, that's really good. That's really good, especially in this era. But this guy wasn't even like a athlete, you could say. He was just a guy who was a bricklayer in New York City, and he just kind of trained at night when he had the time and the money, because as you do in 1904. Yeah, Buddy had a lot of passion for distance running, but he died like 10 years later. So in 1914, 10 years after the horrible marathon he ran, he would die from pneumonia because they couldn't fix that back then. Just kind of a death sentence. So his life and career were pretty short, but I'd say pretty unforgettable here, especially in Olympic history. He's going down in the record books, guys. Okay, W. Mans, Fred Lors, my guy, but he's a cheater. He's a fake and a fraud, and he's scandalous. Our next fella here, not so much. Thomas Hicks. Now look at this man right here. Look at Thomas Hicks. Does that not scream 1904 gold medalist?
He's an athlete.
He's an athlete.
He's definitely an athlete.
He's definitely an athlete. His win was a little controversial, okay, as most things in this marathon were, because he was given rat poison, okay, and brandy during the race as a performance enhancer. Now, at the time, it wasn't illegal to do so because nothing was, and now it's banned. So people looking back at this, with this guy who was using a now banned method, also wouldn't really call it a meta method. Getting drunk and poisoned while running a marathon are probably not in my top 2 things I want to do while running a marathon. But whatever, he still won. Yeah, literally, this guy was just insane player, dude. And also, while he's drunk and poisoned, he's running in brutal heat on dusty roads. He barely made it. He collapsed over the finish line basically, and he basically was then immediately went off to a hospital because he was gonna die. He's poisoned. But yeah, I mean, this guy, when this happened, and he was kind of like the face of endurance sports for the next fat minute, because I mean, the amount of attention that this brought to the Olympics, that this guy was carried off at the finish line and put out a stretcher. People were like, this stuff's pretty cool, this is dope. It's not just some guy running on a dirt road. There's passion, there's grit to this thing. Because it's dramatic. That's like some movie stuff, But nope, it's just 1904. So what do you do? Here's the crazy stuff. We're gonna reiterate some topics. We're gonna nail some talking points in your head here, okay? Fred Lors took a car for a part of the race, and then ran to the finish line for a winning goal before middling. He cheated, right? Loser. Sterachine, which is a poison, also known as rat poison, and brandy were given to Thomas Hicks as performance enhancers. May I reiterate, performance enhancers, because sure, why not? And several runners were collapsed, vomited, or were hospitalized during the race because there was just no water. And half these guys also, by the way, may I put this out, during the event, they're in New Orleans, right? Let's say you're from London, you're from, I don't know, New York. You're coming down to see the Olympics, right? You're walking around like, oh, this is so cool. All these amazing athletes here. Up comes Billy Bob. He's like, hey, you wanna race, kiddo? Old bucko pal? And you're like, I'll give it a crack. And now you're an Olympic runner for the 1904 marathon. Simple as that. First come, first serve. So most of these dudes weren't athletes. They were just regular old Joes who thought it'd be fun to run a marathon in 90-degree heat with no water, because what else do you do? There's no Chatterbox stream to go watch, so you run a marathon instead. It's the next best thing. That's what they say, at least. Yeah,
true.
so these guys were just your average Joe. It's like if your neighbor was just like, yeah, I'm gonna go run the Olympics tomorrow, and you'd be like, okay, you're 40, but all right, that's cool. Whatever you want to do. There was some international chaos, you could call it here. Was that a Chatterbox reference? It was. It was indeed. Some chaos did happen. Cuban runner, sorry if I butchered this name, Andrian Carvajal lost time due to snacking on apples from an orchard. He then got sick from these apples and said, I'm going to take a nap under the apple tree. He then
That's
awoke
fire.
and joined the stream again. But not the stream, sorry. I saw this bot in chat here. WBot. Any mods in chat? Can we get rid of this guy here, or what's going on? Whatever. Average Chatterbox streamer or viewer. So this guy took a nap and then just rejoined the race and just finished top 5. Like, what?
Mhm.
How do you do that? He just it's like
That's pretty
it's the turtle versus the hare. You know that one?
Tortoise, but yeah.
That's the one. Tortoise versus the hare. This guy's the hare. He just ran really far ahead, took a break, started eating some apples, took a little nap ski, scrolled some TikTok, hopped back in, right back at it. You know, like he never left. Finished top 5. Didn't get a medal, sadly enough. But had he not napped and not got sick from an apple orchard, maybe he would have. Boy was really hungry.
True.
Oh, it's what happened. Where the so excuse me. Pardon me. Hello. Anyway, back on track here, everybody. Also, South African runners were chased by wild dogs, and may I reiterate, only the South African runners were chased by wild dogs. Nobody else was. I don't know why that
Crazy.
happened. I wasn't there. Emily, were you there?
No, I was not there. If I was there, I would have put my foot down and I
You
would
know-
have said, hey, don't do that.
Gabe isn't here anymore, but if he was, I know he was there because he is pretty old. So he might
Yeah.
be able to give us a first-hand account, but sadly, I believe he left the facility. But yeah,
This is-
imagine running a marathon that you just signed up for, and now there's a dog chasing you, and he's trying to bite you and eat you, and you're just trying to run a marathon for the giggles of it, I guess. Like, what? And then so many of these guys also were, like, very poor, and they didn't have shoes. So they ran barefoot on the dirt road in 90-degree heat with no water. Barefoot. Darn,
That sounds awesome.
that does sound pretty sick. I would love to do that. That sounds like a Friday evening for me. But the aftermath of this entire thing, a lot of rules were changed, a lot of precautions were put into place because you can't have an event like the Olympics being held by the USA just going to shambles like this. So
Mhm.
basically, you can't see all of this soundly. I do apologize, but 14 out of the 32 runners finished. Chat, that's not very high. That is below half of the runners actually finished the race. Not what you want to
Good
see.
math.
Thank you. The race also exposed poor planning and unsafe practices because, like, no one planned it. They were just like, yo, get some dudes and just have them book it down this dirt road for the next couple hours and just see what happens. And then put, like, a water station in, like, the very middle of it, and that's all they get.
Mhm.
And also just grab some random shit off the street and then have wild dogs chase them just for the giggles of it. Whatever. See, obviously this led to much stricter standards for Olympic marathons because you can't have this happening. So yeah, they luckily fixed this, and this never happened again. They now sanctioned the marathons and actually gave them correct places to run where there wasn't going to be cars, where you could just hop on a truck and just win gold medal and then be like, "Well, I'm just joking." So no more of that. Sorry about that. But here are the finish times. So these athletes. May I call them athletes? First place, you can't see this once again. I'm actually going to move my face cam out of the way momentarily here, guys. Put this up here by Emily. Thomas Hicks from the USA won first place. Good old
Heck yeah.
Tommy here had a time of 3:28:53, which is not bad. He was given Strychnine and brandy during the race because, yep. Also very dehydrated. Carried off to finishing. Been over this. Fred Lourdes disqualified. Initial time that he said he did was 3:13, which, by the way, if you're gonna hop in a car for like 12 miles, 3:13, really? Thomas got 3:28 while getting poisoned and actually did the whole thing himself. You're a loser, Fred Lourdes.
That's really a shame.
He really is. Yeah, so he obviously, like I said, cheated. And in second place was Albert Corey. This guy was French, but just said, like, I don't want to be French, so just became an American, basically, for a race. He came from France to see the Olympics, but then competed under the U.S. Don't know, man. Yeah, he ran a 3:34. got him second place. Third place was Arthur Newton. This guy was boring. I tried doing some research on him to see maybe if he did some cool stuff like Thomas and Fred.
Yeah.
No, he didn't do anything cool. He just kind of like got there and just ran the race like a normal guy. He got 3:47 though, so he got the bronze medal there. But these times, A, for the circumstances, and B, for the time period, aren't very bad. So comparing these times to good old today, we have, for men aged 25 to 44, the medium finish time is roughly 4:05. So basically, if I were to just get up right now and go run a marathon, I'm probably running a 4:20, a 4:10, a 4:05, something in that range, depending on what I'm wearing for shoes. Who knows? So these guys were finishing like 40 minutes under the average time of people today, which people today, I would say, are healthier. I mean, like, this is over 100 years ago. That's a while. So, you know, probably healthier today. The gold medal winner at the 2024 Paris Olympics ran a 2:06, so almost half of the standard time for a regular dude to run, which is insane. A couple minutes shy off the world record, which is a 2:00:35, almost a sub 2 hour. May I mention though, somebody did run a sub 2 hour at a race, but it wasn't counted as a world record because he had like people helping him. Like he had people like running with him and like had a car in front of him to like help him control his pace. So he had like assistants, so they couldn't count it as a world record. But somebody has done a sub 2 hour before. Gabe made sure I knew that before I did this presentation. So the unofficial world record is like 158 something. I don't really know, but the official one, actually in Guinness World Record book, is 2:00:35. But now the 100-meter times in 1904 versus today. Okay, 1904 gold medal winner ran a 11-second 100-meter, which is wicked for a guy in 1904.
That's
May I say,
crazy.
Gabe claimed, can't prove it true, that he actually ran an 11-second 100-meter in high school. I can't confirm nor deny this, but I'll take his word for it. So, Gabe would have won a gold medal in 1904. Put it out there. But today, the average male runs a 13 to 15 second 100-meter dash, peaking around 12 and a half in the 30 to 35 range. Don't know why the 30-year-olds who have receding hairlines are running faster than us, but they are. So they run on average like a 12 and a half type of one, a little bit lower than the standard for the median, but still. Now I decided I'm going to go out to the track, and I'm going to see what good old It's Just Fate runs in the 100-meter. Now, Emily, I want you to guess my 100-meter time right now.
Right, okay, so I'm gonna walk you through my thought process. So I had know that you have mentioned before that you do not like to do cardio. You don't like to run.
Only lift, really.
Yeah. So okay, wait. What's the? Are you doing a 100-meter dash or like what are you doing?
100-meter.
100-meter.
27 seconds. Let I fall down?
I'm gonna say 19 seconds.
Okay. Everybody underestimates me. Let's just see. Run the video. Run the video.
I knew you did this.
It's Just Fate. My wonderful girlfriend got to do the sign thing. Here he comes. Now, if you notice in the video, see the little white thing fly off my foot? That's my shoe. It fell off when I was running. There he goes. There goes that boy. He's booking it. I'll tell you what.
Wow.
Now, guess somebody says in chat. Now that you've seen the video, is everyone holding by their ones? I did have a shoe fly off. So are we still sticking with the
Okay.
19
that
seconds?
was probably like 13 seconds.
Okay, so I ran a pretty rapid. Excuse me. Get out of full screen, please. Hey, excuse me. Mr. Presentation, can you work for me real quick? Thank you. So It's Just Fate here. Ran a rapid 14:68 100-meter dash. Not the most fast thing in the entire world, but not too shabby with a shoe falling off. So we're gonna knock off a second. Why wasn't your shirt off? Why would you show that video? Because I had to give proof. Duh. We're gonna knock off a second for the shoe loss, okay? Because that's not on me. My Air Maxes flew off my foot when I was
That
running.
is a whole second
Um,
is so generous.
Oh, but it's true though. Also, we're gonna knock off another second just due to the weather, because
dude.
it was so hot out, and and the 1904 Olympics was also hot out, and they got a break, so I should get a break. So we're gonna do another second in .03.
You're
So, but also we're also gonna go ahead and just knock off 2.5, just because I like my hair. It's kind of like in my eyes, and I had a pathway and I couldn't see correctly, and it's all messed up. So basically, all in all, I ran a 10:35 100-meter dash, which, if I do say so myself, is pretty good. So I'd say all in all, I would have kicked ass at the 1904 Olympics. I'm telling you that now. I would have done a great
Dude.
job. That's me right there. Actually, if you can't tell. I would have smoked every old Joe in the 1904 100-meter dash because I'm simply that guy. Give me the right shoes, cut my hair, make sure the weather's nice. I'll be there. Tell you what, to run a 10:35. Thank you.
That was awesome. Yeah, good job, dude.
Thanks. This is
You and your
humorous. I
10:35,
love this
that
very
was
much.
Awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I did not enjoy running the track very much, but I was being encouraged, luckily. So that's shout out my emotional support, Willow Mason. Big up.
Did
But
she get
yeah.
the ick from seeing you run?
Oh no, she had to because she actually ran track in high school, and she actually ran a faster 100-meter than I did. She ran like a 12-second 100-meter.
As she should.
And I ran a 14.5. So I think even now she's probably faster than me if I'm being so for real. Maybe in like a 5-second sprint I have better acceleration, but I think whenever I top out and then my endurance starts to wear down a little bit, she probably beats me. Maybe we'll do a stream where we all race the 100-meter dash. Every W Esports employee can go do the 100-meter. It is track season, by the way, so hey, here we are. But there we go. There we go.
Hey!
Woo!
We taught each other
Woo!
something.
We did indeed. So shout out all of this stuff. Yeah, I mean they're very fun. I hope you learned a lot about the 1904 Olympics. I know I learned a lot about Coraline. I'm gonna go watch it probably either tonight or tomorrow night. We'll see. Maybe I'll watch it whenever I go home for the weekend. I can watch it on my mother's big screen TV in the living room, and I'll say, you know what, Mom,
cute.
I learned about this at my job. So she'll be like, you know what,
Mhm.
I'm so proud of you. Like, thank you, Mom. I appreciate that. So yeah,
So
there we go.
true.
There we go. I have Crocs on. Congrats, dude. Big up the Crocs, man. But that will be all from us today on the Chatterbox episode 6. We look forward to many more with you guys. Great presentation, Emily. Very 1 out of 10.
Thank
6.7
you.
out of 10 stream. Good job today, W. Thank you. 1 out of 10 since front medal. So
Thank
what does that
you,
average out to? Like
thank
2.5?
you.
I don't know. But regardless, big up everything. Great presentations. Shout out Coraline. Shout out 1904 Olympics.
Absolutely.
And we will see you guys later.